How do vacated targets create fantasy football T-sleepers? Have you ever wondered how some tight ends suddenly become stars in fantasy football? One key factor is vacated targets. So, what are vacated targets? They happen when a player who used to get a lot of passes leaves the team or takes on a smaller role. This opens the door for other players, especially tight ends, to step up and grab those opportunities. Tight ends depend on targets, which are the passes thrown their way, to score fantasy points. When a key receiver or tight end departs, their targets become available. This shift can lead to the rise of tight end sleepers. These are players who might not be highly valued in drafts but have the potential to exceed expectations. Why do vacated targets create these sleepers? The tight end position is often thin, with only a few elite players consistently producing. When a player leaves, it can quickly elevate a lesser-known tight end into a more prominent role. These tight ends usually have a lower average draft position because their opportunity wasn't clear before the offseason changes. When they start receiving more targets, their fantasy production can increase significantly. Several factors make vacated targets impactful for tight end sleepers. First, the quality of the quarterback matters. A stable or improved quarterback can better utilize the tight end position. Second, the offensive scheme plays a role. Some offenses favor tight ends, increasing the chance that vacated targets go to them. Additionally, if the team lacks strong receiving options, the tight end is more likely to absorb those vacated targets. Lastly, a tight end with a good catching ability or a role in the red zone is more likely to take advantage of extra targets. For fantasy football managers, monitoring off-season roster changes is essential. Identify players who have left a team, especially wide receivers or tight ends who previously commanded many targets. Analyze the depth chart and offensive scheme to see which tight ends might receive more targets. Target tight ends who have a history of efficiency or red zone usage and are stepping into larger roles. Look for tight ends with a low average draft position but clear opportunity, as they can provide significant value compared to their draft cost. For example, if a team's top wide receiver leaves in free agency, a tight end who was previously the third option may now become the second or even primary target. This increase in targets can lead to more receptions, yards, and touchdowns, boosting fantasy production beyond what was expected. In short, vacated targets create fantasy football tight end sleepers by opening opportunities for lesser-known or undervalued tight ends to receive more passes. Recognizing and drafting these players before their value rises can give you an edge in your fantasy league.